Still alive, but why, ladies and gentlemen? They say surviving is easy, but living, that's where the courage lies. I woke up today not with joy, but with questions. I am still alive. But why? Not every breath feels like a blessing. Sometimes it feels like a burden, but even in that burden there is a message. Maybe I am still here not to seek answers, but to become one. For someone else, for myself. Strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just opening your eyes to another morning and whispering, maybe tomorrow I'll understand. There comes a moment in everyone's life when silence speaks louder than words. A moment when the heart whispers questions that the mind is too afraid to ask. And among all the questions that life throws at us, one of the most haunting is, still alive, but why? I have asked myself this question more times than I can count. It often came during the quiet hours of the night when no one was watching, when the world seemed peaceful, yet my soul was a storm. You see, it's easy to smile in front of people, to wear a mask of strength. But the real struggle begins when the world turns away and you are left alone with your thoughts. There was a time in my life when I had everything I thought I needed to be happy. Dreams, ambitions, health, and a future full of plans. And then, in the blink of an eye, everything changed. Life didn't ask me if I was ready. Life didn't offer a warning. It just changed, and it shattered everything I believed in. There are moments that break your bones, but then there are moments that break your spirit. The latter is the most painful because physical pain can be treated, healed, managed. But what about the pain that no one sees? What about the silent screams within the soul? What about the mornings when you wake up and ask, why did I even wake up? Still alive, but why? That question used to terrify me, because when you're in the depths of despair, being alive feels like a punishment, not a gift. I remember lying motionless, feeling useless, watching people live their lives while I sat still, trapped in a body that no longer moved the way I wanted, trapped in a mind that no longer dreamed the way it used to. But somewhere in that darkness, I found something I never expected myself. Pain is a strange teacher. It doesn't use books or lectures. It teaches through experience, through sleepless nights, through eyes swollen from crying, through shattered dreams and broken hearts. Pain strips you down to your core. It takes away all the masks, all the titles, all the roles you once played. And when there's nothing left, when you are standing alone in front of your own soul, that's when the real journey begins. You begin to ask different questions, not why me, but what now, and not what did I lose, but what can I still give, and that shift in perspective changes everything. I stopped waiting for the old version of myself to come back. She was gone, and maybe she needed to be gone for me to discover someone new, someone who didn't define herself by what she could do, or how she looked, or what others expected of her. Someone who didn't seek validation in applause or acceptance, but who found strength in survival itself. You see, being alive isn't just about breathing. It's about feeling. It's about hurting and healing and breaking and rebuilding. Being alive means allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to feel pain and brave enough to still choose hope. Every scar I carry tells a story not of weakness, but of survival, and I wear them not with shame, but with pride. Because they remind me that I've been to the edge and I didn't let go. They remind me that even when I had every reason to give up, I chose to stay. And that choice matters. That choice is power. When you ask, still alive, but why? The world may not offer you an answer. But that's okay. You're not here to receive answers. You're here to live your way into them. I started looking around, and I realized that maybe I wasn't alive for me alone. Maybe I was alive to be someone's voice. Maybe I was alive to remind someone that their pain is valid, that their tears are not weakness, and that their survival is a silent kind of courage. Sometimes your purpose isn't loud. It's not standing on a stage or leading a revolution. Sometimes your purpose is simply to get up, despite everything. To keep breathing, keep showing up, keep holding space for others who feel like giving up. I began sharing my story, not because I thought it was special, but because I knew it was real. And real stories, when spoken from the heart, have a way of reaching people. They remind us we're not alone. That even in the darkest moments, someone else has felt this too, and they made it through. There is beauty in brokenness. There is wisdom in wounds, there is power in pain, if you allow it to shape you, not define you, if you allow it to soften you, not harden you. When I stopped asking the world to give me a reason to live and started creating my own, I discovered that life is not about waiting for meaning to knock on your door. It's about becoming the meaning in someone else's story, even if that someone is you. I found joy in small things. A smile I gave a stranger, a letter someone wrote to say, "Your story saved me." A quiet moment with the sun on my face, reminding me that life goes on whether I join it or not. And slowly, that terrifying question, still alive, but why, transformed into something softer, something gentler, still alive. And maybe that's enough for today. And if today is all I have, then I want to live it fully, even in my limitations. I want to embrace every tear, every breath, every heartbeat as a reminder that I am here. And as long as I am here, there is a chance to love, to forgive, to try again, a chance to fall and rise, to be wrong and still learn, to feel pain and still choose to be kind. I don't need to have a perfect body, or a perfect plan, or a perfect past to deserve life. None of us do. We are worthy simply because we exist, because we feel, because we try. To anyone listening who has ever asked that same haunting question, who has sat in silence wondering why they're still here, I want to say this: you don't need to know why yet. You just need to stay until the pain softens, stay until the tears slow down, stay until the meaning finds you, or until you create it yourself. You are not here by mistake. Your breath is not a coincidence, and even if your story feels like a mess, it is still a story worth telling. Because someone, somewhere, needs to know that it's okay to break, and it's still possible to rebuild. Healing doesn't happen in a straight line. Some days you will feel strong, and other days you will feel shattered again. That's okay, that's life. We are not meant to be unbreakable. We are meant to be whole, with our cracks not in spite of them. So I no longer ask, why am I still alive? I simply say, thank you. Thank you for another day, even if it's hard. Thank you for the pain, even if I don't understand it yet. Thank you for the people I've met through this journey, the ones who have seen me at my lowest and still held my hand. Thank you for the second chances and the third ones too, and thank you. Yes, you. Whoever you are, wherever you are. You are alive, and that in itself is a miracle. Even if you don't know why right now, stay. Let time reveal what you can't yet see. Let your life unfold, even with uncertainty. You don't need all the answers to be worthy of the air you breathe. Your presence, your existence, your story, just as it is, matters more than you know. So if you find yourself waking up tomorrow with that same question, still alive, but why? Know this: you don't need to have the answer today. What matters is that you're still here, and that is not weakness, that is not failure, that is grace. That is strength. Keep holding on. Keep choosing life, even when it feels heavy. Because one day you'll look back and realize that just by surviving, you were already doing something extraordinary. You were becoming the light, first for yourself and then for others, and maybe, just maybe, that's why you're still alive.